everyone, it's Maddie and welcome to the second week of NaNoWriMo. This is my week off of work and Bea has next week, so you're going to be seeing a lot of me and less of her, but hopefully I can do her proud and write words enough for the both of us. Today my goal is to hit 1.5k words and my stretch goal is 2,000. I also decided that I was going to trial out the For the Words website because I've seen it a lot on the Word Nerds channel and they recently did a 4-hour live show where they're using it, and I thought in order to participate I probably need to make an account and make use of the 30-day free trial. So I'm going to try that out, even though I am tragically sad that I'm not able to ever take part actively in live streams while they're happening because of the American time zones. It means it's like 11 PM or midnight here. So unfortunately it's always an after the fact participation thing, but that doesn't stop me from having fun, so let's get to it. So I'm just now going through the demo just so that I can get a taste of it and then I'll set up my account with the free trial. So now I have to pick which one of these monsters I want to battle and they're all worth a different amount of words. So this one you have to do 50 words, so maybe I'll just try that one and let's go. You have to have a username on the website and all I can think of are the cringy ones I used to use when I was 10 years old on Club Penguin, so I best not use those. I've set up my account and now I'm just scrolling through the different monsters. I didn't realise to begin with that they had time limits on your words, but they seem quite excessive, so that's over 2 hours to write 700 words. I think I could definitely do that. I guess these look a little bit like Pokemon. Oh, that one's really cute. 200 words in 30 minutes. Or maybe I'll fight that one. Okay, so I just have to start the fight and then I don't know what happens. I've gone to the writing page and just down here you can see what battle I'm doing. So I think I just go ahead and write into this document. So at the bottom it keeps track of how many words you've written and how long it took you to write them in. And then on this side it had where my battle was happening, but I defeated Renu, so that's great. It's now 2:30 and so far I have only written 200 words. That is shameful. I have spent the time editing the video, so that's now live, our first NaNoWriMo vlog. I'm really happy with it and I hope that the next one comes out even better. And also I let myself watch way too many episodes of Avatar: The Last Airbender. I'm on season 2 and I'm only 2 episodes away from the end, but I know because of the last season that's likely to be a 2-parter finale, so I think I should try and do something and then reward myself with finishing it. It's currently my favourite show at the moment. It actually might be my favourite animated series. I'm loving the story and I find it so inspirational for what I'm currently working on because there's 4 different factions and in our story there's only 2, but it's really fun to see how that translates and how the communities work together, and really I'm just in it for Prince Zuko's character development, so fingers crossed there's loads of that in the next season. I have set another video to upload on Bea's computer that I just edited, our fantasy TBR, and now I'm back to the grind of writing. I managed to get in 300 words before Bea phoned me at her lunch break, and now it's 4 o'clock, which is our usual productive time if you've seen our last vlog, so hopefully I can just bash out my next 500 words quickly. This is A+ writing from me right here. Yes, it's taken me all afternoon to get there, but I'm finally past the 1,000 word mark. I'm also extremely conscious of the fact that I haven't really moved from this chair all day, so the next time I'm home alone I'm gonna have to go on a walk or something, and maybe I'll do some stretches now. It's 5:30 in the evening and I'm gonna take a break and finally reward myself with those last 2 episodes of Avatar Season 2. My 1,000 words all came from adding something to the top of my first chapter of my second POV. I thought that I was starting the scene too early as you didn't really get a sense of the setting and what had gone on before that point, so I made sure to give more explanation to what had been going on. I was a little bit nervous to write this scene because I'm taking a lot of inspiration from the army with the mess hall and the barracks as the setting and rankings as what they're all going after. So before I was using the vague word of initiates until I realised that cadets would be a more appropriate term, so I had to go in and fill that in. But hopefully Bea will be pleased with the scene and I feel less anxious for her to read the chapter now. And unlike the last time I went back to rewrite, I didn't have to delete anything, it was purely additions. Also because all of our main characters are girls, I think I'm going to start referring to them as A, B and C. So Bea is writing A and I'm in charge of B and C. Everything I've written today has been B and everything I wrote on the first day was C. So there we go, that's as much as we'll share about them for now. Maybe you'll get more later in the month. It's 10 to 8 now, and I have officially written my 800 words that I needed to today, but I'm going to spend the next hour or so trying to get out as many more words as I can. We wanted this to be a writing day where we tried to do like 3 or 4K like we did on day 1, but then last night Maddie downloaded The Sims 4 onto her old computer, and then it was like, oh no, this is exactly what happened 2 years ago when we tried and we started playing Happy Home Designer. It was meant to be a reward for the very end, but we got it early and we just started playing it, and then our productivity went down. So it's been the same with The Sims, but we have given both of our Sims, who we've named Opal and Ingrid, aspiring author careers, and they've written like 6 novels over the last 3 days, so I'm going to take their productivity and use it to motivate me now. I'm under 50 words away from hitting 1,000 for today, which is really exciting. I had to write 1.2 in order to meet my personal goal, and we'll have to reassess the target tracker that we had for tomorrow because we've got it down as a complete day off of writing, but we decided that we just did not want to break the chain, specifically in the first week of NaNoWriMo. I want to be writing every day, and so if we put a new target for at least me, because I'm still off and Bee's still at work, then we'll be a lot further ahead than we thought we would be.
I want to try and keep that streak going for at least 10 days.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that beats our record from last year.
And I want this to build a habit. I think it's more important that I keep writing into December than it is I hit 50k in November.
Proving that you can write even 100 words and telling yourself that that's is enough is important. Yeah. It's 100 words is better than nothing. The problem with being ahead when it comes to setting goals is that you never feel pressure, and if you don't feel pressure, then it's hard to maintain how ahead you are because you just keep thinking of it as a cushion. And we always want to be a little bit ahead. We never want to catch up with the word count because we're aiming to write more than 50,000 words, which makes sense considering there are 2 of us. Now we've got to think of a target that we could feasibly hit by the end of the week that is ahead of where we would need to be by the end of the week by NaNoWriMo's standards, if that makes any sense. So we're going to fill out that chart based on the work that I have and the work Maddie has in the upcoming week, making it so that we are staying ahead but that it's not too high of a goal that we feel put off. It's the 7th day of NaNoWriMo, and again I'm back by myself after having a day off with Bee, which was absolutely delightful, and I loved that we just got to chill out and play Sims together. Writing took kind of a back seat, but it still managed to be our 3rd most productive day in the month, and I think that's just really encouraged me that even if the day doesn't go entirely to plan, I can still reach my targets. I thought I would come downstairs today and write in a different place, otherwise this whole vlog is going to take place in my purple bedroom with its terrible orange lighting. As I was driving Bee to work, there was a huge downpour of rain, and it really inspired me. I don't listen to a lot of ambient noise when I'm writing, but I think after that I'm just going to put some rain on and see if that drives my motivation. I've also stayed in one character's mind for 6,000 words now, so I'm feeling a perspective change. Quarter to 1 now, and I've written 550 words. I'm going to take a break and eat my lunch, and then I'm going to come straight back to it because I want to get 1,000 words in before 2 o'clock. I just went onto Twitter and was blessed with this selfie of Gino, so now I feel like there's good vibes for my next sprint. I did it! It's past 2 o'clock and I've reached over 1,000 words. As I said I would, I changed perspective and decided to write the scene where C goes back to the fantasy world for the 2nd time, and there's a little bit of a complication with how she's using the portal, so that is the next bit that I have to write. This is building up to quite an exciting exchange between C and characters in Bee's story. I think it's one of the first times actually where the worlds collide like that, because the girls are definitely operating as 3 separate groups for quite a long time, so this is the first connection between them. The one difficult thing about writing this character is that she's often alone, and dialogue is where I feel like my word count really thrives, so I have to create the words purely out of description. And you know how in last week's clip I said I didn't know any trees? Look at me doing some research. Look how pink my cheeks are, I'm so warm. I turned on the heating, but I think I turned it up too high. So it's now 3:15 and my grandparents just came round for a visit. It was really nice to see them and chat to them about writing and just let them know that we're still moving towards our aspirations, because as soon as we got our full-time job, our grandparents were like, but what about your writing? And we had to reassure them that that is still our life's motivation. So rather than watch more Avatar, I interacted with other human beings and I'm still waiting for V to call me, so she must be having quite a late lunch.
but I'm going to write, and hopefully I'm going to keep writing until she phones, so that then I have an even bigger number to tell her about at the end. I've written 1,800 words total today, so I'm nearly at my 2,000 goal. It'll be the first day that I've reached that without Bea here, so I'm really happy with my progress so far, and I've still got under 2 hours before I have to go and get her so that we can eat dinner together. I'll take a little break now, watch an episode of Avatar, of course, and then see if I can just push through to the end. I'm so struck by the fact that I'll never write anything as good as Avatar that it's actually making me sad. I wish that what I was writing was just a 50,000 word long fan fiction, because I have that many feelings about it, and I love the characters so much I wish they were my own. So I'm just going to share these feelings and tell you my 3 favourite things about the show, so that if you haven't watched it, then you definitely need to, and if there's any fan of Avatar out there, please let me know in the comments so that I can chat to you about it. But so far, my favourite things are the relationship between Katara and Sokka. I'm a huge fan of sibling relationships, and I think theirs is one with a lot of push and pull. I really like how their personalities clash but also complement each other at the same time. Second is Prince Zuko, and this is honestly the most important part of the show for me. I have heard about his character in whisperings and on Tumblr a lot earlier than when I started watching the show, so I kind of knew that it was quite a masterpiece how he developed. He's just such a fascinating character, and the way that he interacts with everyone. He's got a shaky moral compass and is probably the definition of being morally grey, but I love what he's doing, and I just really want him to be part of the gang by the end of the series. And thirdly, I love Suki. She is probably my favourite female character, even though she's not in very many of the episodes, particularly in seasons 1 and 2. The episodes that she does take part in really stand out for me, and it also helps that she has a relationship with Sokka too. I love that. So hopefully the rest of season 3 will just astound me. I'm really looking forward to the 4-part finale, and thank you for putting up with this Avatar fan talk.
I reached my target, over 2,000 words, just.
Something I also did today to procrastinate from starting to write was make little covers for our NaNoWriMo novels from the last 2 years. They're really basic and small, but I think they kind of conveyed parts of the story that we were going for.
There's this year, and that's last year. And I thought I'd share my aesthetic mood board for one of the characters. This is C. She is the girl in the centre, being represented by Kiernan Shipka. Then we have another main character here, but she doesn't have her own perspective, but she's like the 4th most prominent. We've got her best friend and future love interest. The images on this side are related to the portal that she goes through, and then these 2 images are all about where she lives. We haven't made a full-on mood board for our 3rd character yet, but we do have some pictures in mind, so we'll have to do that and make it a desktop image, because I've spent just as much time with her as C. I've still got 20 minutes before I've got to go and collect Bea. Shall I continue writing, or shall I watch another episode of Avatar? Let's see. I prioritised instead and got another 250 words down before I leave. The graph is looking really good.
Day 8 of NaNoWriMo, it's 9:20 and we haven't written anything yet today. I spent the whole day watching the last season of Avatar, and Bea was at work.
And watching Pentagon videos, that's what I've done for the last hour.
So we've just fallen into our fandoms a little bit too deeply today and haven't managed to do any writing, but we've just caught on to Natalia Lee, who's doing a live stream, and she's just started sprinting, and normally this would be too late for us to participate, but as we haven't written anything, it seems like the perfect motivator to just get something down before we go to bed.
I'm closing out day 8 with 315 words, which isn't my lowest day. That was yesterday with 117. I'm at 9.6k now, and I really want to hit 10k tomorrow, and that is more than doable, I think.
And I wrote just over 400 words. It was a completely random scene that I decided to write from Act 2, so I'm probably not even going to get to that point by the end of NaNoWriMo, but I just wanted to write something fun and different, and it was inspiring to get a glimpse of the light at the end of this Act 1 tunnel. It's now the 9th day of NaNoWriMo, and so far I've written 620 words. It's 20 minutes until 3 o'clock, and I'm going to start writing when the hour strikes and hopefully get to 1,000 within half an hour. But this morning I spent my time reading Shadow Crown by Kristen Martin. I am 150 pages through. As we said in our TBR video, this is a reread for me, but I'm finding it really enjoyable, and I just want to be in someone else's fantasy world, not my own, for a change. had quite a significant break between my last clip because they announced the cast of RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars Season 4, and I just had to watch the live stream that Trixie was hosting with Katya and Detox talking about the contestants. I'm so excited for the cast of this season as well. I thought that they were all so good in their original seasons, and I can't really see a clear winner between them. They've got such different strengths, so I'm really excited to watch that, and I didn't realise that it was so early in December, so it's going to end up being a treat for finishing NaNoWriMo. So the scene I just wrote was all about my main character going into the fantasy world for the first time. Yesterday I told you that I wrote when she went for the second time, and I just kind of skipped over this bit because I was really scared about the gravity of the scene and just how significant it was to the storyline, so I was like, I'll fill that in later, but it didn't seem like a scene that I wanted to keep in brackets with ... in for very long. So I actually asked B to write about 200 words of it for me to give me a jumping off point, and I really liked that method of doing it because it was kind of like having a writing prompt, and so starting the scene and in the end finishing it ended up being a lot easier than I thought it would be. It was set in a church and was all about my main character looking at some stained glass and seeing the history of the world and giving some significance to why she was there in the first place.
He and I have also set up our own word count tracker. So we've got the NaNoWriMo daily targets, and then the targets that we set for ourselves and the total that amounts to. Then the next columns are what we actually achieve in that day and whether it's on target or below target with what we first suggested. There have only been 2 days so far this month that we've gone under target, one of them being yesterday, which isn't really a surprise. And then further along we have our total word count for NaNoWriMo that we update on the website, and then the comparison with our project from last year. So we are currently 10,000 words ahead of where we were. And then this final column is just our list of rewards, and we put them in green when we've achieved them and what we achieved them for. It's also been really fun to keep track of the NaNoWriMo stats that the website gives you because you can't actually access these once the day is passed, and so we definitely want to keep a record. I'm just writing my final 100 words of the evening as I'm cooking Bee's dinner. She's going to be getting through the door any minute. She said that she wants to do some writing this evening even after she's worked 8 hours, which is very dedicated of her. But then hopefully we're going to watch a Netflix Christmas movie called The Holiday Calendar, starring Kat Graham, who played Bonnie in The Vampire Diaries. That was one of our rewards, and fingers crossed what I've written has taken us up to 25,000 because then we'll totally deserve it.
So my total for the end of the day was 2,054 words, which is one of my highest achieving solo days.
And mine was 135.
At least she did something. I told you she was determined. So now we've definitely earned watching our movie, and we've actually surpassed 25,000 words total on our document.
I'm not even at 10k yet, so that's mostly you.
Ching. I've still got one more day by myself, but then B has to take the reins. It's day 10 of NaNoWriMo, and I haven't vlogged anything at all today, and yet it's been one of my most successful days with 2.6k words written. I really pushed myself to just keep going when I didn't feel like it, and write a significant amount of words in each sprint rather than just thinking 200 words here, 400 words here. I think each time I was writing about 500 words, which was really significant and added up over the course of the day. It was my last day without B, so I really wanted to finish with a bang, and now our total word count is over 27,000. I can't believe we're past the halfway mark. It's happened way sooner than I thought it would, and it just means that 50,000 words definitely feels reachable. I don't think that there's a possibility, even if we took like 4 days off consecutively, that we won't make it. I had a lot of fun writing on my time off, but I definitely want to make sure that I keep up the habit even when I go back to work, so we'll see what happens in the next couple of days.